everyone, the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notifications down below if you haven't already. Hey folks, good morning and welcome back to the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. Behind me there is the beautiful wagon wheel and kind of behind the scenes look. So this morning I wanted to address a comment that was made on yesterday's video. Somebody implying that they could see this coming from a mile away, and also implying that it's not a twin flame journey that I'm on. And you know what? For argument's sake, let's hypothesize that and say they're correct, and just kind of run with that. And I'll look at the underlying message here that I believe as to why this was written. My first response to that person would just normally be, I don't know how you could make that declaration from your chair or where you're at. That would be like me criticizing other commenters on here and saying that they're not going on this. Now, I know you've seen videos of me and been following along, but I don't remember at any time stating for 100% certainty that I'm on that journey. In fact, one of my more previous videos were talking about how I in no way, shape, or form can guarantee it in any capacity. I just know, based on all of these books that I'm reading, and everything seems to match up that I'm going through and others are going through, and it's beyond just your traditional breakup, which I've also been through a number of different times. And I can just, there's this innate sense inside of me that feels something vastly different for this particular person that I've never in my life experienced before. So again, I in no way, shape, or form can make this a 100% certain claim that this person is my twin. Got no idea what the future holds, where my path leads, if our paths lead back, or anything of that sort. I do know that, and as I've said in other videos, we had a great 9 months together. There was a complete rug pull that was never ever really talked about or expressed as to why she is choosing to leave. I reacted very poorly after being talked down to and kind of destroyed by her. My response was very badly, and I'm going to guess in some capacity that probably, much like the things she was saying to me, they really went after my ego and kind of destroyed me from the inside out. And these are the phases that I'm recovering from through this, because this is about ego degradation and completely, well, I guess from what I'm gathering so far on this journey is the old me is dying off slowly, and this new approach to life is rebuilding. Maybe not necessarily rebuilding, but I would suppose reinstilling the true way you should be operating in life, and that is entrusting in your soul than kind of plowing through life with your ego. Because if I were to look back in time, those methodologies, while seemingly worked expediently in the moment, never have really been long-term strategies. And I've kind of always wondered why I have struggled in life. But the more I lean into this, shed this old self of mine, and the more that these synchronicities begin to happen in my life, I really see the true beauty in all of it. On the other side of this is the true struggle in all of this. That's something I'll never shy away from it. And the struggle itself is the only thing I've really ever wanted to talk about and express, especially for guys out there that are going through this, because we're wired a little differently. Let's be real and honest about it. We don't have that emotional, and that I don't mean all of us, but we don't have that emotional or mental training that a lot of women I've talked to when it comes to examining emotions. More often than not, I've found that women can typically set down bags of past hurts and past traumas a little bit better than we can, because we, or at least I, bury it down low and don't talk about it. This I'm trying to express to be very different, that it's okay to talk about it. It is okay to hurt. It is okay to be on the floor. And it's also okay. And I believe that this is just a test to take criticism from people via the comments, um, who, well, I guess I'd question why you're even watching me if that's the case. But if you want to, state that you don't believe that I'm on this journey, then that's great. That's certainly your opinion. Um, I'm not on here to make money. I'm not on here to create a fan base. I'm not on here to create a following. Literally staring into a camera and just talking and hoping it finds people, and it has. It's 99.9% of the people that I've found on here have been freaking amazing. They listen, they comment, they're encouraging to one another. So you're bound to find one naysayer or one hater on there. But I guess my advice would be find a different channel that aligns with your twin flame blueprint as you put it on there. But I would crack back a little bit. You can't really yourself be on a twin flame journey if you're criticizing others. That's not our mission here. Our mission is love, compassion, and uplifting everybody, regardless of what we may or may not believe or think of them. That includes former partners. So I guess in that aspect, I don't understand your point, other than it's like you're happy. It's like you're happy the suffering that I'm going through is, in your mind, not real at this point because of me finding out, or at least part of finding out, that she isn't my twin. So if I may expand on that a little bit. Whether she is or isn't, what I'm learning is very irrelevant, because quite honestly, I need to treat her and that aspect of it as if she isn't. It shouldn't matter. Um, it'd be great in the future to maybe prove you wrong, but again, that's not in the cards. And what is in the cards, though, is helping me out. Number one, moving past this very hard time. I've never acted like this before over anybody. I've never been so, down in the dumps one moment and then just in complete bliss the next. I've never been hung up on somebody like this before. So, whatever the awakening might be, there's certainly a much bigger purpose at work here. And I think many of us would probably echo that same sentiment, that you really don't feel like yourself going through this. I know I don't. I feel like I'm going crazy at times, with the noise that's in my head. And I work hard on a daily basis to try and get that noise out, to, I guess, be able to just function. It isn't easy waking up every single day hearing her name and then going to bed hearing her name again. And then throughout the day, the majority of it thinking about this person. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy sitting in meditation and trying to shut that noise down. It's not easy to, read books and get on camera and talk about this and be completely vulnerable to a bunch of people I don't even know. Okay, none of this is easy. And still, I'll say it 1,000 times, none of it really makes any damn sense to me either. I just know what I'm experiencing, and I know it's very, very real and very hard. And man, there are days it's hard to move on and it's hard to go on. So I do know one thing for certain, though, is that I am changing into somebody very different, a much softer version. Um, Life is changing around me. Synchronicities have been incredible. After I made the video yesterday, I again was just in my head and walking to the grocery store and just asking God, whatever you want to call it, just, what do I do now? What is this pivot? What is this pivot you're talking about? I get to the grocery store. The first two items I checked out came to 22.22. So I finished checking out, got 22.22 angel number on my phone, looked it up, and went down to the lake and read an entire section about it. And the long and short of it was about balance and harmony in your life. And so what I'm doing is asking, well, what sort of balance and harmony do I need? What sort of balance and harmony do I need? And I left the lake, and a vehicle with 111 drove by me. walked by a van as I turned and followed this vehicle that had a license plate, personalized license plate that said "Find Joy." Hung a left on that street and walked down, and there was a woman measuring a sign she had. She had like a real Oriental type of landscape, and she does. Where's the card here? She happens to do shiatsu. So her and I talked for probably 30 minutes, and I talked about my story, and she just happened to be changing the name with the word flame in it. She has not necessarily, obviously, looked into it as deep as I have or we have, but had talked about, she's like, it's funny you bring that up because she said years prior, and she didn't really know what it was, there was somebody who affected her in a very similar way. So we ended up talking for about 30 minutes, and I got her information, and I'm going to go do a session over there, which is just right over by my place here. And, you know, I asked questions to the universe, and it delivered that answer. So I suppose, if anything on this journey, that is the one thing I'm working with the hardest, is beginning to trust that. And that is a freaking shift and a half on its own. Um, it feels fairy tale like in its essence, because it's like I'm talking to myself, but getting the right answers and leaning into that aspect of it. So I'm gonna guess that the more I do that, the more the pain of the breakup, the pain of losing somebody is going to fade away. And, you know, just to be real to everybody out there, it's been 6 months, and that it feels like we broke up years ago, but the pain is still as fresh as it happened yesterday, it seems like at times. So it's just it's interesting. I don't even know how else to phrase it or describe it to anybody, but the people that are going down this road get it. And I suppose before I sign off here on this episode, I would just like to say, you know, we are about something much bigger here than our personal opinions about things and about people. And I think it's an exercise of restraint sometimes to not reply and to not comment. But for those that are on here that have been supportive in this, you know, that's I truly thank you guys. You're it's been awesome, because the one common theme that I've found amongst people is just feeling alone and nobody to contact and nobody to talk to. And for those that are, you know, critical of this journey, I guess find a channel that is that supports your belief systems with it. You know, there's no manual to this. There's no one path. My experience is not going to be the same as yours. There's no freaking way that that's possible. Everybody's human experience is different, but I think everybody's mission is similar in that we are supposed to be supportive and not critical. There's enough criticism and negativity on this planet to last all of us 1,000 lifetimes that we're experiencing in this lifetime. So there isn't any need to argue or make a point that this isn't real. Because I assure you, if you were sitting in my body, you'd change your tone very fucking quickly, because it's real as real can get. And I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make connections and make this journey easier for somebody so they can lean on a shoulder when they don't have anybody. And there's a lot of people out there like that. So I would just suggest being a little more supportive and a little less critical. And this person knows who they are. It isn't being directed at everybody out there. It's just being talked about to one specific person. So that's what I got this morning. As I said, the camera's got to get fixed. It's sitting right here. I got to get it shipped out today. The SD card will not lock in, which sucks considering the thing's only a few months old at this point. So, but it was a sign to change things up and be a little different. And so here we are. Love you guys. Later.